mentally, you got to be ready to go every day. You can't let the kids down. You got to make sure that we're getting the best out of them every single day.
Every day we're preparing for Spring Academy. We're putting together the curriculum, the classes, making sure that we got everybody in the correct groups. So our drills are going to be more game simulated.
There's a lot of stuff people don't see, but that's the end result is the academy.
M14Hoops, Matt Miller.
Yes, sir.
It's the year of the 14.
Absolutely.
What have you guys been up to?
We've been up to a lot. We had a great fall, and because of that, and when I say we, I mean our players had a tremendous fall, and because of that, they've had an outstanding winter season, be it middle school or high school. They really were able to translate drill into live play, and that's all it's about. And I guess because of that, the word got out a little bit more, and so we've been growing. We've been really growing a lot, and because of that growth, Coach Nick and Coach Bobby have been able to come on full time now, and that's just really added a lot of fuel into our tank, a lot of fuel on the fire, if you will, and we've really been able to do a lot of cool things with that. We had a great winter camp, and we're ending our winter season now with our Sunday night shooting with the high schoolers, and then our Friday, Sunday program with the middle schoolers. And ultimately now we're getting ready for the Spring Academy.
A lot has to go into those. Tell us a little bit about that.
I think there's a lot more than people think. Obviously, the day-to-day operation stuff, and just in terms of answering phones and returning email has to happen. But, we're in the office 8 or 9 o'clock every morning. And along with just the day-to-day kind of admin stuff, we are always continually trying to learn more and really taking a humble approach to player development and not doing what just worked for me or just worked for Bobby or just worked for Nick. We're really trying to get outside of ourselves and truly kind of hone our craft. Just to make it better for the players. The more educated we are, that's the more that we can give back to them, and ultimately the better that they will be. So, every single day we're trying to do more and more research, read articles, watch videos, go over game film, go over plays. What's a new way we could teach this? Why is this the best? Those are all the things that we're doing, every single day. Everything we do, I think we always have to challenge it on, is it the best? If so, why? Or is there another way to do it? And just continuing to educate ourselves will always keep us, at the cutting edge. Because it seems like in every offense, you're gonna break down into one of these. It's gonna come into this. You know what I'm saying? Like running all that stuff. But if you end up running a pick and roll, whatever, this is big. So point guard can't penetrate.
No.
When it's big high.
Right.
So he's coming back, he rolls, he's coming up.
He's coming up. And then you can hit that big, right? You can hit this big, you can hit this guy rolling, and then that puts the pressure on this defender that's guarding him. He got to pick the roll and he got to come over him because somebody's going to be open.
Right. So you got triangle strong side, or you pass the pass, right? But then the thing is that if that happens, then whatever ball gets here, point guard, whatever big other wing came up, but that ends up rolling back into this other thing where you reverse the ball. Now you got a ball screen that way, and so then the set ends up being like that. So then they are on a string. He turns corner.
That's a two-man game.
Two-man game. He rolls. If he steps, Kentucky alley-oop over the top.
All day.
Right, or we pass the one more into the corner. So everything's gonna break down into one of these sides.
And what they tell that big, if the other big is sleeping, duck in real fast. So when you come off that ball screen, you occupy, you on that block, just duck in. That's an easy feed, duck shot.
Or if he pops. off the.
Which one? Him?
Which one?
This big man who's setting the ball. So what if he pops?
He can pop or roll.
So if he pops, does that guy in the block come across?
No, he got to stay. He got to
He's
keep
on,
that.
he's on the stretch forward hand.
Yeah, stretch forward. It's a
Because
two-man game,
it's gonna
basically.
be a short corner
Yeah.
where he's popping to, so now all of a sudden he just turns back to me and he gotta go to work. He actually ends up, what is it? If he comes high, they do that type of thing.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? But
yeah.
get underneath to the baseline.
Yeah. Because what I was going to say, when we were in Spain, we ran something similar to that. The buddy would scream the exact same way, pop to the corner. We had a stretch forward, smack it.
Yeah, that's a
And
trade
you just
ball.
cut to the basket, you would throw it up from the opposite wing. If I was on that wing, but it was for the over the top.
So he would come up, back door.
Oh, yeah.
Come right off
Who
the
throws
back.
it? Who
What's
throws
up?
the hoop?
What?
Who throws the hoop?
The four?
The
No,
stretch point guard.
Oh,
the
point
point
guard.
guard.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of action.
I thought
right?
we popped out.
Yeah, 'cause he gonna be.
It seems as if M14 Hoops really prides itself on player development and staying ahead of the curve and really dynamic in your approach to player development. What does that look like for Matt Miller?
A lot. Again, you know what? I call it having that point guard vision and really being able to see 2 or 3 passes ahead. So for me, you know, I was planning the spring and what we needed to do and get things accomplished for the spring and the fall. And I was planning the fall last spring. And so it's always staying ahead and you know, anything from that to explosive handles. You know, those DVDs did more than I thought they would. And I'm still shocked at what they're able to do and accomplish with players and nationwide. You know, I mean, we send those out all over and they really help. So now they're getting old. And it was just 2 years ago that we did it. So now we got to film another copy. You know what I mean? We've got to do another thing. So now coming up with an explosive handle series is something else that we have to do now.
We have a phrase around here. You got to switch the floors. We call it humility. Go. Step, quick. Was I in your way?
This man been dribbling all day. Look at his hand. That's the first time I ever seen somebody get their hand cracked. You've been dribbling too hard. Hey, this is how you're supposed to handle the ball. Right. If your hand ain't cramp up, you ain't going hard enough.
My body just recovered. I locked up. I couldn't dribble. I caught cramps.
He went extremely hard. He pushed himself and
My stuff locked up, man. Bad. But we got through it though. We got 2 of them done. We got to come back and do another one.
What type of preparation goes into getting ready for another spring academy?
A lot. You know, there's a lot of hard work going on behind the scenes. You know, we obviously have to have a structure for the classes, make sure the kids are getting better each month. At the same time, we have to make sure we have some kind of credibility. So we have to be in shape ourselves, be able to go out there and show the moves. So, you know, every day we're working out, we're lifting, you know, we're running, we're doing ball handling, DVDs like this, practicing with each other. So, you know, there's a lot of stuff people don't see, but that's the end result, is the academy.
I have to also make sure that we stay in shape. You know, it's very important to us that we stay close to the game in that regard because at our core, man, we're basketball players and that's how we gain credibility with our players. But we can't ever forget about what it is that we do. And what we do is get results. What we do is make it easier to transition drills into gameplay. What we do is make sure that our players are prepared.
let's go. Be the best at everything on your team. Your coach will look for you for the example on everything. Dribbling, shooting, being a leader, hardest worker, best teammate. Stop, fellas. I'm telling you right now, okay? The reason why we're doing all this stuff to pass, okay, it's to get you guys doing more than one thing at a time, okay? In a game, we get ready for high school, right? The game's gonna be a lot faster, okay? Especially for some of you who might be playing sophomore basketball. It's gonna be a lot faster than 8th grade, okay? So if we're thinking about handling the ball, okay, we're gonna be behind, okay? The only way we can speed up that transition is being able to do more than one thing at once. So if you handle the ball and you can do it and make a nice pass, okay, we're gonna be able to translate this stuff to a game. Let's go. Let's go. Come on. Go. Somebody's coming for your spot. Somebody's coming for your spot. You cannot let them outwork you. You cannot let anybody outwork you. All right, you guys have to pay attention to details more. High school's coming, and it's coming fast, right? The best players are the ones who are meticulous about their game. Those are the best players. They do everything right. Every little thing. I'm talking about not crossing the three-point line down to right, left on their jump shots. That makes sense?
Every time you go off a screen, do it right. Because nobody wants to defend that. And though it might not work in the first quarter, in the fourth quarter, all of a sudden you'll be wide open, right? That's what great players can do. Their attention to detail is just better than everybody else's. Skill set's not going to be it, people. Skill set is not going to be the thing that gets you there. It's going to be your skill, plus your motor, plus your attention to detail. How often can you repeat being perfect? Your challenge is every single move you make, every time you dribble a ball, it's got to be the best you can do. And every week your best should change, people, right? Because your best last year shouldn't be your best this year, right? That's the tough thing about being good at this sport. Every single time you're out on the court, you got to continue to try to be the best. But if you invest in that, I'm telling you, the reward is nice, right? The reward's the game winner, the reward's that move that you're gonna make, the reward might be a scholarship, right? But you can't get any of that stuff unless you invest in here, okay? We got to start getting you guys ready and ramped up for this spring.
So with all the growth you guys had, it has to be a challenge to maintain that quality and the M14 standard.
It is, and it's something that is always on my mind. But the crazy thing is that as we continue to grow with the model that we have, we actually can present more quality to the players. When we just have 20 kids, you know, from the best kid to the worst kid, that could be a huge talent gap. But now if we're pulling from, 200 kids from the 1st to the 20th, now that's not that much of a gap anymore. So those will be in one class. And then the next 20 will be in another class. The next 20, all the way until we get through everybody. So with growth, we're actually able to present more quality because we're able to slow down when we need to with players. We're able to speed up when we need to with players. So everybody's put in the correct class where we can still present quality to them and still get results and maximize our time together and make sure those results happen, in a timely fashion.
All right, so this whole thing, this placement day, what is this? Yes, you have to try out to train with us, okay? It's the only way that I can give you guys quality. All right, I don't know who's interested. I don't know who's committed. And this is the only way that I can tell who's interested and who's committed, okay? There's a lot of players that are interested in spots. We'll have about 200 kids training a month if you add in our high school players. Okay, so there's a lot of players and vying for it. There's just not a lot of spots that we have to offer just due to time, staff, baskets, and I'm more concerned with quality than quantity. All right, the unique thing that we can do is offer you IQ training. So we can start to show your player how, why, when to use the move that we're working on, okay? With doing that, that means that we can address defense, on the ball, off the ball. We also can address body language, listening, dealing with adversity, and training your child to be a star. At the end, okay, they're gonna go through stations. We got 6 stations, the coaches got rubrics. All right, after that, they'll deliberate. I'll take them through some training stuff. They'll get divided off playing one-on-one. All right, so they're gonna compete here as well. After that, I will bring them in here and I will dismiss you guys.
So the spring is a big time in AAU. It's a time when all the big tournaments happen at the end of the spring and in July. So we have to stay prepared so we can prepare our players for that moment. And we always tell them, look, you're gonna have that moment. You're gonna have that chance to show what you can do. But you gotta be prepared for that opportunity. So they've been working all fall. They've been working in the wintertime. They've been working now for that moment that they're gonna have. So we have to be prepared so we can prepare them for those results that they're gonna get. It's an exciting time. It's a time of growth. It's a time when our 5th are now looking towards middle school, our 8th are looking into high school, our freshmen, our sophomores, our juniors. Some of them are looking towards varsity, some of them are looking towards college. And we got a lot of players that got scholarship offers. We got a lot more that got to get there, and they're going to get it done right now. In that springtime is when it's going to happen. So it's a very, very exciting time, but it's still 2014, and it's still the rededication of greatness. So it's going to be a fun time.